Hey gamers, Rob from ZborGaming here, and today we are back with another weapon guide. This time we are looking at the new marksman rifle for Season 6. This is the SPR-208, and there is a lot to cover here with this weapon, so we are going to go ahead and get started. So, as with most of my various weapon guides, all of these various infographics I have on my website over at ZborGaming. This one is up. A lot of the infographics you're going to see are up there. Take a look in the description below. You'll be able to head on over there and take a look at any of these if you want to look at them in more detail. So, the SPR-208 is unlocked at Tier 15 of the Battle Pass in Season 6, and it has a max level of 55. Still working on some of the camo requirements. It's a little different. A lot of these weapons they're releasing in the Battle Pass, they don't have the same camo requirements that the normal weapons do. So the other marksman rifles have different camo requirements. So I'm still capturing some of these because I'm working on leveling the weapon up right now. But note that they are different. The ones I have in white down here are confirmed. But the ones in orange are possibly different than what they have here. So as far as base stats, the base range damage goes out to 23.5 meters on this weapon. It will give you a one-shot kill to basically the upper torso, your chest, your head, upper arms. And then it's going to be a two-shot kill to the stomach and the limbs. We'll talk a little bit more here later. If you do add that 338 round, you will get a one-shot kill to the stomach out to around 30 meters. So it has a mag size of 5 bullets, so it's pretty small, only 10 in reserve. The fire rate, it's around 50 RPM or so. ADS speed, full ADS is about 350 milliseconds. 305 if you're trying to snap it off right when the scope pops up. Reload time is about 3.3 seconds. The reload add is 2, and you can speed it up to about 1.3 with sleight of hand. We've got all the attachments listed out here for the weapon. Again, head on over to ZborGaming, the description and the link. I've got an entire table of all the attachments listed there as well. These loadout suggestions we'll talk about a little bit later in the video, but let's go ahead and look at some of the specialized attachments for the SPR-208. So, before we get there, as far as some of the advanced stats, you can see that this thing will always be a one-shot kill to the head, to the chest. Once you get out past the 53 meter range, it will be a two-shot kill. And anything to the stomach and limbs will be a two-shot kill. Warzone headshots, though, look like they are hitting at 250 damage right now. So you can get a one-shot headshot in Warzone. Now, this does have a unique bolt assembly down here. So these Sloan KR800 Deadeye and the 600 Feather do change your fire rate for this weapon. So the Deadeye will slow it down to 42 RPMs, and the Feather will speed it up to about 56 RPMs. Now keep in mind, this Deadeye bolt basically eliminates all the recoil between your shot. And you'll see that in one of my follow-up slides. There's basically no recoil with the Deadeye bolt. So as far as the barrel attachments, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on these. The Vera Twist, the SPR 26-inch, and the Dragoon all increase your damage range, and that ASP barrel decreases it by about 20%. Right now, though, I want to spend a little bit more time on the ammunition. So the ammunition for this gun right now appears to be bugged. So what I mean by that is the aim down sight speeds, it actually says it hurts your aim down sight speed for all the attachments, when in reality, it helps you. For the 10 round mag, it speeds up by about 2 frames. For those 300 Norma mags, it speeds it up by about 1 frame. And for the 338 mags, you actually get a 3 frame faster ADS speed using this. On top of that, you get higher damage to the stomach. You get a 30% damage range increase, and it speeds up your bullet velocity. And I'll show you a little bit later on the recoil control. It really hardly impacts it at all. So this is almost a must-have on your weapon if you have it unlocked. Now it does, I believe, unlock at level 50. So it will take you a while to unlock this, but once you do, you absolutely want to use this ammo attachment on the weapon. And because of that big ADS speed boost and the damage range, you really almost at this point don't even need to use any of the barrel attachments. But you can if you want. So moving on, let's talk about some of the ADS speeds for the 208. You can see here we have all these listed out. Again, with those ammos, they all speed it up. You can use the Blitz stock as well as the ASP barrel if you really want, and the tac laser to get those fastest ADS speeds. Throw on a reflex optic, which really doesn't impact your ADS speed at all, and you can get a very, very fast ADS, good for quick scoping. I know a lot of people like to use the car, but this weapon really will outperform the car, especially with those 338 mags. Now, something a little unique here with this gun is that the stock attachments actually have quite a bit of effect on your recoil control. With most of the other weapons, the only stock that tends to impact your recoil is the no stock attachment, which would be similar to this Blitz stock. But you actually get this Virtuoso Pro, and you also have a stock here called the Overseer, which helps your recoil and your aim stability. So that is quite unique with this weapon, because you don't see that a lot with any of the other guns. Lastly here, this rechamber stability for the bolt assembly basically eliminates all of the recoil on the weapon. And you do get some extra recoil with the feather bolt, but it does speed up, again, your fire rate. Over here on the right, you can see the base recoil pattern, and I'll actually get to that here in another slide or two. So if we look at the various damage profile, again, I've got this up. This is a repeat of a lot of the information, but basically in hardcore, this gun's always going to be a one-shot kill. In multiplayer and Warzone, for an enemy at 100 health, it's going to be a 1 or a 2-shot kill. Again, this 338 ammo here basically makes your stomach a 1-shot kill as opposed to a 2-shot kill with the base ammo. And again here in Warzone, you're going to get 250 damage to the head. So if we take a look at the damage range chart, I have all these damage ranges for every single weapon over on the website. You can head on over there, take a look at that if you want. This is very comparable to the car, except for you get that one-shot kill to the stomach with the 338 ammo, and I think the car goes out to about 60 meters here for that one-shot chest shot kill. But on the whole, this gun is going to outperform the car. This is basically the new sniper rifle you're seeing in tons and tons of lobbies, and this is the reason why. Is because, frankly, the ammo attachments are bugged right now on the weapon. So, here are those ammo attachments. So you have those 300 normal rounds. Now, what's interesting here is it doesn't mention anything about the recoil control, but you can see here that it actually has a worse recoil pattern than the base recoil, which is part of a reason not to use this. You want to use these 338. Here you can see it says it hurts your recoil. And it actually looks like it's better than the base recoil. You get a 1 bullet jump to the right, but on the whole, these are very bugged right now. I don't know if it's supposed to be the other way around, something's going on here, but you can see here that it mentions nothing about recoil control on the Norma mags, and it's worse. It says this one hurts your recoil, and it actually helps it, and it also helps your aim down sight speed. So these ammo attachments are really messed up right now, but take advantage of them while you can. So looking at the muzzles, you can see here the muzzle brake actually performs really, really well. Compensator's not too bad. Typically the compensator outperforms the muzzle brake, but this attachment, if you want, go ahead and use it. It will definitely help with that right hand kick that this weapon has. Looking at the bolt assemblies, again, like I said earlier, the Deadeye bolt basically eliminates all the recoil, but it does slow down the fire rate a little bit, about 15% or so. But this feather increases the fire rate, but you can see you get a much more dramatic recoil jump between the shots. I put the tack laser in here because I wanted to see what type of impact it would have. Really, it doesn't seem to have a whole lot. You still get some of that right hand kick compared to the base recoil. Taking a look at the stock attachments now, because again, like I said, these are fairly unique to this weapon. Typically only the no stock attachment. And you can see here that on the whole, you get a little bit of recoil help. This Overseer stock is said to help your recoil and your aim stability. And you can see it just sort of drifts a little bit up and to the right. So it's not too bad. Again, that Blitz stock, which is similar to your no stock for other weapons, you can see you do get quite a bit of jump to the right. So be mindful of that when you're using that Blitz stock, that that follow-up shot is going to kick quite a bit to the right. So you'll really have to scope out and scope back in if you want. So if we move on to the barrel attachments, again here you can see that 3 of the barrels will increase that damage range. The ASP barrel will decrease it by about 20%. So the Vera increases by 20%. The SPR gives you about a 25% range boost, and the Dragoon actually gives you about a 15% boost, even though the profiles for these just mentioned a bullet velocity increase. They do help with that damage range. You can see here that really all of the barrels give you some fairly decent recoil, except for this ASP. You really get that second shot kick. But on the whole, it's not too bad. If we take a look at the underbarrel attachments here, really compared to the base recoil, there isn't a dramatic difference with a lot of these. And really, because this weapon's a one-shot kill anyway, if you hit that first shot, the second shot really doesn't matter anyway. And so with the other thing I didn't mention with the ammo attachments, and the fact that they're sort of bugged right now, is that with both the 300 and the 338, they're basically hit scan. So there is no bullet drop off. So as soon as you pull the trigger, it's going to hit the target and without any bullet drop. So a lot of the recoil really for this weapon, if you're on target, doesn't matter anyway. So really with a lot of these underbarrels, you really don't even need to run an underbarrel on this weapon. So I threw a few loadouts together. The no recoil setup is basically, that's going to be hit scan, especially if you swap out, let's say the barrel or the Commando foregrip for that 338. Basically, wherever you pull the trigger, the bullet's going to hit. This high mobility setup, you can see, has quite a substantial amount of recoil. If you're still scoped in, it's going to jump all over the place. But if you want to run and gun with this and you're fairly accurate, you could use this mobility setup. The balanced stealth loadout, again, that Deadeye bolt basically makes it hit scan. This last loadout over here, I swapped out the bolt assembly and I put the 10 round mags just to sort of show you what this recoil profile would look like without that Deadeye bolt. And it's a little bit more than the base recoil. Lastly, I have a Warzone loadout here. And again, you could probably swap this barrel out, put that 338 ammo on, and keep the rest of this the loadout the same. And you can see here it has quite a good recoil profile. So here are the various loadouts. The low recoil, again, like I said, you could throw that 338 ammo on if you want, maybe take off the Commando foregrip. I sort of like this 28mm optic. Has a good sight profile to it. You could also swap it out for maybe a lower zoom sight if you don't want the scope glint. The fast ADS setup here, again, this is good for smaller maps, your base 6v6 maps. Note there is quite a substantial amount of recoil though. The balance build, again, this is a fairly decent build with that Deadeye though. It's going to be spot on as far as accuracy. And that Dragoon barrel will give you some stealth because it has an integrated suppressor into it. Lastly, here's this Warzone setup. Again, I have over here an optional loadout that you can put on. A tactical suppressor, tac laser. You could keep the optic if you want. keep that blitz stock for that mobility, and then you could put those 338 rounds instead of the Deadeye. Again, there's a lot of options for this weapon, which makes it very, very popular. So guys, with that, that's everything I had on this. I know it's a little long, but hey, thanks for watching. This is an awesome, awesome marksman rifle, especially once you get it kitted out and you unlock that 338 ammo. This thing is a beast. There's a reason why you're seeing it in virtually every single lobby right now. So hey, with that, I appreciate you guys watching. Please comment, like, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We're working on our next weapon guide for the AS Val. That should be coming out fairly soon. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.